This is round 6 of the Vodka O Australian GT Championship. So far, over half the race had been completed behind the safety car. So when racing finally resumed, drivers were keen to get back to full race pace in their last outing for the year.
A graphic indication at turn 1 of the bumps under the braking zone. And now David Wall lunges up the inside. Mark Sini, the Hallmark Porsche, doesn't fight.
Certainly not. The only person that won't be liking these safety cars is Tony Quinn, but David Wall, it's really sort of played to him.
Oh, Mark O'Connor's being bounced around everywhere. The Lotus out through the grass. He'll get back onto the road. Just behind Darren Berry in the Ascari. Simon Middleton, the Lamborghini Gallardo. The closing laps of 2010. And it's Tony Quinn with his nose in front. Mark Eddy, the former champion of 2008. All over the back of James Konduras, whose brother Theo is missing from the field this weekend, suffering the flu and a non-starter.
The Konduras brothers have been big supporters of this category, and I'm sure they'll both be back for 2011.
You can see there a little bit of debris down there where Kimber's Viper has been removed from, but Tony Quinn, I just can't see anyone catching him. He's had his car at the front all weekend, and no one's been able to get in front.
No, he's really played the percentage game here in this race. He's really controlled the pace of the race. He's managed to sort of keep that gap there to James Konduras. It's probably been the closest it's been all race, but I think you'll see Tony stretch that out again. 3
completely different cars in the top 3 positions. Of course, the Mosler with its 7-litre Chev-based Corvette V8 engine, 6-speed gearbox. The Audi with the 5.2-litre V10, and of course the Porsche with its 3.6-litre rear-mounted 6-cylinder engine. Very different philosophies, but they're all together on the road.
They certainly are. The Audi has certainly got the straight line speed advantage over the Porsche, but Mark just doesn't seem to get the run onto the back straight. And again, that plays to the strength of the Porsche. The engine's in the back, it gets better drive onto the back straight. Mark catches up at the end of the straight, but by then it's too late.
Love seeing any form of cars drop off the top of the hill and then down hard on the brakes and down in on road corner. This track perfectly suits these cars. In the background, David Orr's closing in on Ash Samadi, but it's quite European in its styling. Big open straights, a lot of good flow.
It certainly is, and as you mentioned, it really does suit these cars. The flat bottom era of these cars works so well here. The fast sections over the back, they're incredibly strong under brakes. The only thing they don't like is the bumps on the circuit, but these cars seem to manage it very well.
Paul Tressiter here in the GT Challenge class Porsche being monstered. Greg Crick charging his way through from starting way back in the pack. The champ in 2006, a former driving standards advisor for this category, and Dean Grant is following him through. So Crick's doing the work, Grant's reaping the advantage and going past the pair of them.
The Mosler certainly was moving around on the bumps there, under braking into turn 1, but pulls it off nicely.
Turn 2 and 3, those tyre bundles marking the inside of the corners.
Tony Alford was struggling to keep up with his other production class opponents.
So it's the Lotus Exige taking on the Nissan GTR R35. Have a look at the difference in size.
They're chalk and cheese in terms of size, but their on-track performance is very similar. But the cars both go about getting their performance very differently. The Lil Exige is very light, it's very nimble through the corners.
But it was Tony Quinn who led the race from start to finish to take a clean sweep of the round.
Tony Quinn on his way home. He has dominated the last couple of rounds of this championship. 2 wins at Bathurst. He's on target for 2 wins at Sandown. What a way to finish the season for the VIP Pet Foods driver. James Konduras has kept the pressure on, and Mark Eddy, the development continues in the Audi R8, but it's the final corner of the season. Tony Quinn will take his 4th race win in 2010. Mosler get another win in the GT Championship. Porsche and Audi 2nd and 3rd, and Ash Samadi another great drive for 4th. So the final results, David Wall makes it home in 5th. He is the champion for the 2nd straight season. Shane Smolin takes GT Challenge in not only the race, but also the championship, and Paul Freestone at the front again in GT production. For the 2nd straight round, Tony Quinn will stand in the middle of the podium. James Konduras and Mark Eddy join him. Mark Siemens rounds out the top 10.
Tony, congratulations, a round win here at Sandown. A good way to cap off the season.
Oh, look, it's fantastic. I had a terrible start to the season. I didn't enjoy Adelaide. The walls got me in Adelaide. But it's great to finish first in Bathurst and first in in Sandown, and you know, it probably gives me a bit of enthusiasm to start next season.
The final championship results see Wall the champion. James Kandouris jumps Team Grant for second, and Tony Quinn's late season form puts him fourth, but Wall is the champ again.
David, congratulations. You're the 2010 champion. Well done.
Yeah, look, couldn't be happier. Very, very hard weekend with the parity. I'm sick of these long straights, let me tell you. I'll be very interested to see how we go when we go to the 12-hour, when we can run this car, the FIA parity, and I just couldn't be happier. To go back-to-back is awesome, obviously.
But David's not the only champion. Shane Smolin in the Porsche takes GT Challenge, and in GT production, it's the Corvette. Paul Freestone takes the crown. But Tony Quinn, his late season form must make him think 2011 can't come sooner. So that's it for another season in the Vodka Australian GT Championship. If you want to keep in touch with the championship during the off-season, log on to australiangt.com.au. Thanks to Warren Luff and Bridie Ingerson and the whole crew. I'm Aaron Noonan. We'll see you next time.